Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's date is Wednesday the 17th of June and this is our third session of the week on our narrative unit, The Iron Man by Ted Hughes. Firstly, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your news bulletins and your news reports. They were fantastic to watch and to read, so I hope you had fun with those. Okay. Make sure you've got your book set up for me. Write today's date, Wednesday the 17th of June, at the top of your page, and our can I statement for today. Can I use inverted commas to punctuate speech? We're actually going to be doing our challenge, which is to write a piece of dialogue for the farmers over the next 2 sessions. Okay, so we're going to have the same learning objective for the next 2 sessions. Here's the first thing that I would like you to do and think about. I've got a picture here taken from the book of the farmers all standing around deciding what they should do. And I've got these 4 speech bubbles. So on your page, perhaps you could draw a picture of the farmers standing around, or you could just draw a picture of a farmer. Or if you don't feel confident at drawing, don't worry. You could just draw 4 large speech bubbles. Make sure you draw them large enough so that you can write 2 or 3 sentences in each. Because what I would like you to do is pause this part of the story, and we're going to zoom in on it today to think about what they might be saying to one another when they realise that all of their machinery has been eaten, all the iron and steel has gone, and they think it is the Iron Man. So here's an example for you. I think one of them might say, "We need to set a trap. What will he eat next? Houses? Our children?" I might say, I'll give you another example. I might say, "That Iron Man is a monster!" Exclamation mark. We might also say, "We could use my lorry as bait and dig a big hole for him to fall down." Okay, so there's some of my ideas. I want you to have a go at doing at least 4 speech bubbles of what you think these farmers, these angry farmers, might be saying to one another and what plan they might be coming up with to capture the Iron Man. Make sure you write neatly so that we can read what you've written, and don't forget to take a picture and upload it to Class Dojo. I've got one more challenge for you to do today, so once you've done your speech bubbles, come back and listen to the rest of the video. Over the next couple of days, like I said, we're going to be working on this can I statement. So for our second challenge today, I would like you to set up a journal style page. So you might want to start a clean, fresh page, and I want you to revise, to revisit, because we've done this lots in school, about the rules for speech punctuation. I've got some ideas here to remind you, and then I'd like you to set out your page with examples to explain the rules of speech punctuation. Here I've got my heading. Here's some of my ideas. You might want to use some of these in your writing, but try not to copy all of it. For example, you could change where I've written my examples here to something else. So, when you're writing, inverted commas or speech marks go before and after direct speech. They surround what is being said by the speaker. So remember, our speech marks here, we can also call them inverted commas. So here's my example. "That Iron Man is a monster," he cried. So the bit that's being said, this bit here, is surrounded by my speech marks. I'm putting what is being said into a speech marks sandwich. So I've got my opening speech marks, my opening inverted commas, what's being said, and then my closing inverted commas. And I'm putting a little reported clause here. He cried. I could put he said or he shouted. Okay. If another character applies, you must use another set of inverted commas. So here's my example. How can we stop him? Another farmer asked. We will have to dig a hole the size of a house. It's impossible, another voice grumbled. So here I've got one speaker, so I've got my inverted commas here over what's being said to sandwich it in. And this is my reported clause. And then I've got another speaker, and we need to remember to start a new set of inverted commas, and we need to close our inverted commas here as well. And that's my reported clause there. Okay, now there are some more rules which we've talked about before. The rules. Each new piece of speech must start with a capital letter. So we can see here we've got a capital letter at the start of this bit of speech, and then we've got a capital letter here. Okay. Punctuation such as question marks, like I've got here. Full stops, like I've got here. And exclamation marks, I haven't got one here, but you could. Okay. Or a comma, if it's not the end of my sentence, that is. Go inside the inverted commas. So it's got to go inside. We don't have a question mark outside. That goes in our inverted commas sandwich. And finally, if you name the person who's speaking before the speech, you must use a comma before the first set of inverted commas. So for example, Hogarth whispered to himself, and because I've introduced that speaker before what he says, I need a comma to separate it from the speech. Then I've got my inverted commas, my capital letter, I can't let that happen, and I've got my exclamation mark before my closing inverted commas. Okay, so that is all the information you need to set up your journaling page. Have this as your title. Oops, let's rub that out. Have speech punctuation as your title, and you could put a banner around it. You can use some of my ideas to help you, but perhaps change some of the examples. Try and link it to our story in the moment in time that we're focusing on. And don't forget to write the rules down like I've done, so that when we come to write our speech and our dialogue tomorrow, you know the success criteria, the rules you need to follow to successfully punctuate your speech. Okay, well done all of you.